Today on the channel, it's the return of the Kyle Peterson Top 5 as I count down my top 5 WWE Masters Universe figures of all time. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Kyle Peterson Top 5 video. As you guys know, every single Thursday on the channel, we're doing a Top 5, sometimes a Top 10 countdown of my favorite action figure line, my favorite action figure of an individual. You guys get the point, but we do countdowns on Thursday. Make sure you subscribe to the channel or go back. You can always check the playlist in YouTube for past Top 5, Top 10 videos. I've had people just recently saying, hey, let's see a Top 5 Bret Hart. Well, that was the first one we started with. We did a top 10 Bret Hart already. So a lot of them have been done. A lot still to go, as you guys know. But check out some of the old videos. 9 times out of 10, I've probably reviewed it or we've probably already talked about it. So check those out if you want to. But today, we're talking about the top 5 WWE Masters Universe Origins figures. Now, the Masters of WWE Universe figures, really something I was very excited about from the get-go. As a lot of you guys know, Mattel Retros went away. These took their place, and a lot of people felt like these are taking their place. This is why we don't have our Retros, which didn't quite work out that way, but I could really understand why people view it that way. That being said, I was very excited for this line because as obviously I love the WWE and I love Masters of the Universe. So a mishmash, putting those together, I thought was a great idea, a cool idea. The Mattel Origins regular He-Man line still going strong today. It took the parts and they used with kindness, I guess, between the lines, which I thought was a great thing. We always talk about it. You got to get the most out of your molds. Mattel did that to perfection with this line. The interchangeable parts, everything else like that. And I figured now is a perfect time to do my top 5 favorite of the WWE Masters Universe. As we all know, unfortunately, last week on the channel, we reviewed Series 7, the final series I had to review. We already did Series 8 before. Kind of weird how that worked. But we've unboxed all of the Masters WWE Universe figures. So it's over. The line is over. Fingers crossed that maybe Mattel Creation picks it up one day. Maybe they come back to retail. Stranger things have happened. We saw the Mattel Retros coming back January 28th of 2022. So maybe down the line we can get these again. We'll see what happens because I think there's a long way to go in a short time to get there, as an old friend would say. We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. So we'll see where this all ends up, but as of right now, the line is done, so no better time to do a top 5 countdown. And of course, I'm asking you guys, put your list in the comments below. Make sure you go to number 5, all the way to your favorite at number 1. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So this is going to be my list. You put yours in the comments down below. So without any further ado, let's get down to the top 5 Masters WWE Universe figures. All right, it's time to kick off at number 5, and I should also say that this is going to be an interesting list because some characters you think that would be on this list are not. As always, this is my list, of course. But how I judge what is good and what's bad, or however you want to say it, is some of the mashups really, really worked, and they worked so well, it took them above characters I really like, if that makes any sense. I'm looking at this just not like, hey, Kyle loves the Ultimate Warrior, he's automatically number 1 and number 2. No, that's not the case. It is what gimmicks combined worked the best, what really hit me. And I gotta say, there are some lines out there where there's really no super clear favorites, but the wholeness of the line works. And I've always felt Masters of the Universe as a whole, and I'm gonna include Masters of WWE Universe in that, it's the whole of it is worth a lot more than the single aspects of it. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how I view it. I think all the characters, the surrounding characters, go to the love of the line, but when you look at just Stratos by himself, hey, cool figure, but Stratos, He-Man, Buzz-Off, adding all those make it much more enjoyable. And I've always felt that way about Masters of the Universe. I'm not sure exactly why. Maybe you feel that way, maybe you don't, but I wanted to put that out there to begin with before we jumped right in to the list. So we're going to kick it off, though, at number 5, and the number 5 figure comes from Series 6 of the Masters of the WWE Universe. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Bill Goldberg as Ram Man. Now, this is how I'm going to explain it. I guess this is a perfect example. I like Goldberg enough. He's by no means my favorite wrestler. He had his moment in time. I know a lot of people don't like him around now. I got nothing against. He's not my favorite. He's not my least favorite. He's somewhere in the middle. By no means is he in my top 5 characters that were in the Masters WWE Universe. But putting him in Ram Man's outfit, the looks of him, looking like Ram Man, obviously, but then, Bill Goldberg, his spear, and Ram Man doing that big kind of spear with his head. This was just gold. I thought this was an amazing mashup. I really do like this one. And I don't know if we'd call any of these really peg warmers, but this one was a bit of a peg warmer in Series 6. I guess you could call it for a while. But I absolutely loved it. I thought it was a perfect mashup. I like Goldberg. And then all these figures, as you guys know, you can take all the stuff off him, and he can be just plain Jane Bill Goldberg. That is another cool thing about this line as a whole. But for me, Bill Goldberg just made a whole lot of sense as Ram Man. I thought it was very genius, and that's why my love of Ram Man as a kid, Bill Goldberg being okay, but putting them together warrants the number 5 spot for me in my countdown. All right, we're at the number 4 spot, and number 4 we just recently unboxed on the channel. It was part of Masters of the WWE Universe Series 7. Another guy that I would say is definitely in my top 10 favorite wrestlers of all time, and he was brought in with one of my favorite villains of all time in the Masters of the WWE Universe, and they put it together, and who did we get? We got Bret Hart as Triclops. Absolutely loved Triclops as a little kid. It was one of the first villains outside of Skeletor I got in the Masters of the Universe toy line. So I've always liked Triclops. I always liked the effects. Bret Hitman Hart, a favorite of mine, like I said, a top 10 favorite wrestler of me. So you put up one of my favorite wrestlers, and then you throw him with one of, if not my favorite villain from Masters of the Universe. You're cooking with gas at that point. I love Bret Hart. I love Triclops, and this is just genius. This is one of those ones where you think, okay, who could be Triclops? What wrestler? Well, Mattel must have really did the math and got a group discussion going on, and they came out with Bret Hitman Hart, and man, it works. The different shades. Obviously, Bret Hart known for his silver, his black regular shades back in the day, and then, of course, his pink shades. To make Triclops' apparatus removable, I thought was a stroke of genius with 3 different faces of Bret Hart you could end up doing. I just thought this was just phenomenal mashup. Once again, much like Goldberg, just awesome. Awesome, awesome. Love this Bret Hart. That's why he came in at number 4 in my top 5 WWE Masters of the Universe figures. All right, we're at the halfway point in the countdown here. Make sure you have your list together. Make sure you put it in the comments down below. But coming in at number 3 goes all the way back to the Masters WWE Universe Series 4. And this is another character, by no means not in my top 10, but the mashup worked. It was smart. We all probably understood it was going to go this way along the line somewhere. They were going to find a role in the Snake Men. Well, that's what I'm talking about. We're talking about the Snake Man of the WWE and WCW and wrestling in general, Jake the Snake Roberts, Series 4 Masters WWE Universe. Phenomenal figure. Phenomenal. I love Jake Roberts, of course. Being a part of the Snake Men, it's just natural. It's a natural tie-in. Comes with a beautiful rubber snake here, a little neon action. That fits really well. Obviously, Jake the Snake Roberts fits good in his looks. Really like that. But the really fun thing here is the aspect where he has a removable face. Just like King Hiss back in the day. Bam, look at that. That is what took this one into the top 5 list. If it didn't have this aspect, I don't know if I'd be in the top 5 list. But this, make a Jake with a removable faceplate, just absolutely genius, I thought, and well-deserved as a part of my top 5. I'm putting Jake the Snake Roberts at number 3. All right, we're down to the top 2, and the second figure comes actually from Masters WWE Universe Series 7, much like Bret Hitman Hart. I think as a whole, that may have been the strongest wave that we got. I don't know. I'd have to really sit and do the math, but that was an exciting wave. All legends, all heavy hitters. That's what really, I think most people that collect this line, they're a little older. They're not young kids for the most part. They want their legends, and we got that in spades in Series 7. And we got a giant in Series 7, and it was finally time. We all know where this is going. We got Andre the Giant. Awesome, awesome. Andre the Giant, what can you say about Andre the Giant that really hasn't been said? He's known in pop culture. His stories change and get bigger and bigger every single day. And you need a giant in the Masters of the WWE Universe. Of course, we had giants in the He-Man universe. So no better giant to put in here that fits the legend criteria, that is a true giant, than Andre the Giant. I love the new body mold here. That is one of the cool selling points here with the feet that are removable in the package. That's how they stuffed him in here. Just awesome to have such a big giant figure in the line. I'm glad that you couldn't make Andre the Giant the same size as everybody else. It just would not be right. So then making him bigger, bravo Mattel. Thank you for doing that extra work. It's a shame though in Series 8 we know we would have got, apparently the word is out that we would have got Big Show on the same exact mold. We talk about it all the time. Got to get the most out of heavier molds, that's what they're going to do. It'll be very interesting if we see this body mold adapted to the He-Man Origins figures. You'd have to think they would use this. It's there for them. Maybe we'll see that. I have to think if that WWE Walmart exclusive Superstars line that is starting in early 2022 keeps continuing on, we'll probably get an Andre reused on this body or somebody else possibly down the line. It just makes sense. You got to get the most out of your molds. You're not going to do this just one time for a store exclusive. Usually that's the case, and I would think that here. But the specialness of this one being a giant, once again, removable stuff. If you want him just as regular Andre, you can, or you can have him in his WWE Universe persona. You could do that as well. So a lot of fun stuff with this, a lot of fun in the package with the bigger figure, just a fabulous, fabulous figure. And that's why Andre the Giant coming in hot at number 2 on my top 5 WWE Masters of the Universe figures. All right, as the Traveling Woolberries said back in the 80s, that we're at the end of the line. And that's exactly where we're at. We're time to reveal my number 1 Masters of WWE Universe figure of all time. But first, before I do that, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Make sure you follow me on social media at SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, and of course, ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson and give me your comments down below. Let me know your top 5 WWE Masters of the Universe figures of all time. And number 1, we're here. And one thing I gotta say is this is such a fun line to collect. I really did enjoy this. Just 4 figures at a time, very simple. And as you guys that have followed along on the channel with weekly purchases and other things, I was part of the Double Up Club on this one. I really challenged myself, and you guys know I love the thrill of the hunt. I love a store exclusive. I love hunting after stuff, and I get it. It's not for everybody, but I've been hunting for things since I was a little kid, and that's part of the fun of collecting for me. And I enjoyed searching my Walmarts, trying to find these. Coming across an unopened case of these was perfect because usually 8 in a case, that got me taken care of right there. I'd have my loose one to open. And then, as you guys know, I challenged myself even farther. I needed to get them in on card for every single one of these, but it had to be unpunched. And that was a really hard to do, as you can imagine. Not easy to get these unpunched. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Nothing worse going to a store. They're all punched. It's what you need. And you're like, oh, and then the hunt continues. And these weren't as plentiful as we would have liked them to be. I think we'd all admit at that. So very, very challenging line, but a lot of fun had over the last couple years with this line. So there you go. Number 1 for me, there was no doubt. You guys know where it was going, but you probably didn't know which one it was going to. Well, it went to Series 6 Ultimate Warrior, right here, loose and, of course, on card. Now, we did get a Series 1 Ultimate Warrior, and I think that was a fabulous idea, putting Ultimate Warrior in Series 1. You got to start a line off with a bang, and no better way to do that with a little face paint and Ultimate Warrior in his WrestleMania 6 gear. Fabulous, fabulous figure. Absolutely love that one. But Warrior, to me, I liked this one for the line. That one is very Wrestling Warrior. This goes back to what I've said about Ram Man and Bret Hart and stuff like that. It's bringing Ultimate Warrior like he was a He-Man character. The other one felt like wrestling, and that's okay. That's what probably a lot of wrestling fans wanted out of these. But this one felt different. It felt like this was an actual He-Man character of the Ultimate Warrior. This is a Warrior outfit I don't really recall him wearing in the wrestling ring, so it's something different to bridge him into the Masters of the WWE or He-Man line. That's what it felt like. It felt like Ultimate Warrior was actually with Stratos and everybody else. That's how I felt. But then it's Ultimate Warrior at the end of the day. You know it's Ultimate Warrior. This looks like something maybe he would have wore. Just a fabulous, fabulous figure. This was in my top 10 year-end countdown list of miscellaneous figures, stuff like that. Just a fabulous, fabulous figure. This one was one I said no Warrior left behind. I picked up so many of these, and I just recently traded my last extra for Roddy Piper, Hollywood Elite. Oh, it hurt me to do it, but I needed that Hollywood Elite, and Warrior, man, he'll live on forever in at least this house and this collection for sure. Absolutely love this Warrior. That's why he's coming in at number 1. But man, this is a really, really tough list. I mean, it could change a million times over. There's so many heavy hitter figures, so many awesome guys in the line. I just hope that there is a renaissance. Hopefully this continues online, comes back to the stores. They find a way, because I think between wrestling fans, He-Man fans, you put those together, that's a top selling item where I sit. And as you guys know, right here at the table. So there it is, my top 5 WWE Masters of the Universe figures of all time. You guys in the comments below, put yours down there and let me know where you sit on this line and any thoughts you have on it and stuff like that. And I think years from now, I'm sure we'll do a deep dive into these figures once again. But for now, they live on with my reviews and they live on with this video. So there you go for the WWE Masters of the Universe. I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.